Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, man.
Okay.
Do you see CJ up there?
Yeah, she's up here.
CJ's up there.
She is now.
I'm on. Doing good. How are you? I can imagine so. Yeah, she's right beside me. No, she can't hear you. We can talk about her.
Okay.
What do you? Yeah, you should. Sarah Coleman for West Jones and Raven Ellis for Ridgeland. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Appreciate that. This phone just rang and it's the University of Memphis fight song. Is that the program? Can you slide that over? Oh, and my pen. Number 14. They're in white, yeah. Number 8. Yep. She's standing on the 24-yard line. I hope that's her. God, she looks pissed. Blue's Ridgeland. Yeah, Sarah's on camera right now. I know both the coaches. Fairly well. I know one a little bit better than the other one. You know, I lived with them for a few years. We still have to do national anthem. For reals. Okay. Where is Travis? Okay, he's right there.
And you must be Macy.
I am.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now, Macy, you played at West Jones
I did.
in high school? Okay. And then now at Southern Miss?
Yes, sir.
And CJ, you played at both West Jones and Ridgeland?
I did. 2 years at West, 3 at Ridgeland.
Okay, so you played as an 8th grader.
8th and 9th, yeah. I couldn't play in 7th grade when I was in high school.
You probably could have.
No, you couldn't.
Would have been allowed.
I know who the Ridgeland coach is. Yeah. Yeah, he's jogging over. He's the one with the baseball cap on. To the left. He's standing right by the bench. No, he's got the girls around him. He's got a baseball cap on. All right, he's in the middle, like right there. He's the only one with the baseball hat on. Yep, that's him.
West Jones coach is Geiger?
Gigger.
Gigger?
Gigger.
Gigger.
Yes. Sure.
Huh?
No, I think they were going to 38. Oh.
Get ready for the introduction.
It's constantly changing.
No teams are coming out to midfield for the player introduction. Be followed by the national anthem.
Our goalkeeper.
First for the Ridgeland High School Lady
I'm
Tigers.
sure he's the guy in the pantsuit right there. You want me to get him?
Hunter Engel and Michael
Mhm.
Athletic Director and Superintendent Dr. Ronnie McGee.
Yep, that's him.
They come into the game with a 22-1 record. Starters today for the Lady Tigers. The keeper, senior, Haley Heckwood. Forward, senior, number 2, Shannon Locke. Fullback, junior, number 3, Allison Buck. Midfielder, number 4, senior, Haley Britt. Midfielder, junior, number 6, Mary Ashton Wingbo.
Let me know when you're good.
Fullback,
Right.
junior, number
Letitia.
8,
You'll be saying her name a lot.
Okay. Yes.
midfielder, senior, number 9, Rachel Ellis.
Hunter.
Starter today, midfielder, senior, number 10, Aziza Fleming.
Okay.
Forward, junior, number 22, Hannah Harris. Fullback,
Yep.
junior, number 23, Olivia Travis.
Okay.
Fullback, senior, number 25, Madison
Okay.
Walker. Good luck
Where is
to the Lady Tigers today. Now starters for West Jones High School. Here's their coach, head coach Chuck Geiger, assistant coach Tony Buckley, superintendent Thomas Parker, principal Lynn Lyon, and athletic director Scott Pearson. Starters today are the Lady Mustangs. As keeper, freshman, Abby Robles. Junior, number 5, Summer Anderson. Who's defender, sophomore, number 11, Maya Bridges.
Okay.
12, Peyton Roney. Sophomore, number 13, Beth Coleman.
Wait. Mason.
Midfielder, senior, number
Wallace.
14, Sarah Coleman. Midfielder, 7th grader, number 16, Meredith Foley. Defender, senior, number 18, Jamie Bright.
Hold on just a second.
Midfielder, sophomore, number 19, Hunter Edie.
like that? You want me to tighten it up?
Please stand and remove your headgear for the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome to Arrow Field, site of state championship soccer here in the state of Mississippi. We are getting set for the 5A Girls Championship game between the Ridgeland Lady Titans and the West Jones Lady Mustangs. I am Travis Rachek, joined on the broadcast in the first half by CJ Winship, and then Macy Wallace will be jumping on in the second half. And CJ, when we talk about West Jones, it starts with Coach Chip Gigger and a strong program that has built up a lot of tradition over the years, and they've got some really good players too.
Definitely. And the one that we're going to highlight today is number 14, senior midfielder Sarah Coleman. This is actually going to be her 4th state championship that she's played in, and she just inked a deal with Ole Miss.
She with 36 goals on the season. Now on Ridgeland's side, it is head coach Craig Winship leading the Lady Titans. Back here, CJ, you know a little bit about Coach Winship and this team.
I've heard his name a few times, so yeah, I hear he's all right.
And they are led by their star in the middle of the field as well, Raven Ellis. You see her right there, number 8 for the Titans. So we are set for a big-time clash. These teams know a lot about each other, and we should be ready to go for a good 5A Girls State Championship game. Kickoff when we return.
Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSAA.TV/SBP.
Welcome back to Clinton, Mississippi for state championship soccer. We are ready for the start of the 5A girls title game. It is the Ridgeland High Lady Titans representing the North in Class 5A versus the West Jones Lady Mustangs representing the South. I am Travis Rachek, joined by CJ Winship. And CJ played at both West Jones and Ridgeland in her high school career. She's now at Mississippi State. And I guess that gives you a pretty unique perspective on a matchup that has developed into a pretty strong rivalry over the years.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite rivalries to watch, and especially was one of my favorite rivalries to participate in. I grew up in Laurel, Mississippi, cheering for the Mustangs. Actually had the opportunity to play for them for 2 years, and then our family moved to Ridgeland, so I got to finish out my last 3 years playing for them. Actually played my senior game right here, these two teams against each other, so I have my heart with both teams.
These two teams have met 4 of the last 5 years in the state championship games. They are dominant programs, and both with very strong teams as we enter the game and get going here. It is going to be West Jones in the white tops with the green shorts. They will be moving from left to right on your screen in the first half, and the Lady Titans from Ridgeland in the blue shorts with the dark blue and light blue jerseys moving from right to left. We are underway here in the first minute of 5A championship action. The ball knocked out there by the Titans and Mary Ashton Limbo, so the throw-in coming for West Jones. Laid into the feet of Sarah Coleman, the one we talked about a little bit earlier in the broadcast. And what makes Coleman so good, CJ?
Coleman has an extremely unique work ethic. You know, ever since we were really little, she would wake up in the morning, she would run before school. Also, she practices a ton on her own. She's got excellent field presence, excellent field vision, and she also has a lot of respect from not only her team, but a lot of the players that are in the state.
Little back and forth with the ball right now. Cleared out that time by the Lady Titans. Once again, weather has been an issue all this weekend for these tournament games. It is definitely raining right now, not coming down too hard. We had a weather delay in the 4A boys game previous to this. That's where we're about an hour behind schedule, but right now raining, but not coming down too hard. Shouldn't affect play all that much. So that ball knocked out of bounds. Ridgeland will have a throw in down there. It is Haley Britt, the senior, who will toss it in. She'll get it over to Limbo, and then Britt moves it ahead. She was looking for Hannah Harris, and then now back out to near midfield. Making a move is Rachel Harris. Harris will play it in, and then back out to Raven Ellis. Ball knocked out of bounds, tried to be corralled by Letitia Fleming, but it'll result in a West Jones throw-in. On the far side over there, Jamie Grice, one of the defenders for the Lady Mustangs, tosses it in. And then back into the middle of the field, it is Ellis. CJ, as we look at these teams, what for Ridgeland, what are the strengths? What do they do well that's allowed them to get to this point?
Ridgeland is an extremely confident team. They're confident in their history, and they're confident in where they're at right now. I think the main thing coming into this game for Ridgeland will be that they have absolutely nothing to lose. Last year they lost to West Jones, and so now they're out to prove themselves. They've done great this year in defense, only allowing a handful of goals and not being scored on in the playoffs. So they're going to be coming in with a lot of confidence and just coming out of the gate strong.
You talked about that history, and in only 10 years of existence, Ridgeland has played for 9 state titles. This is their 9th appearance in a championship game. They've won 7 of those, which is, percentages are unbelievable. But you did mention the loss to West Jones in this game last year, 3-2. Does revenge play a factor? Were a lot of these girls the same ones that were in that game?
A lot of them were the same girls, so I think that revenge is a big factor. I don't think it's the main factor. I think most of these girls just they just want to get the ring this year. Revenge would definitely be in the back of their minds, but this is a totally different game on a totally different day.
Britt lays it into the middle of the field. Controlled for a second down there by Shannon Locke, and then played high into the outside to Fleming. Fleming will try and center it, but it is punched out. Raven Evans will track it down. This one played up to Fleming, but the flag goes up for offsides. West Jones will get the free kick.
Free kick given to the Lady Mustangs. We have 35 minutes left. First half, no score in Class 5A.
Kick played into the middle of the field.
And the Lady Mustangs.
There's controlled by Harris, and then now back out to Fleming. Fleming leaves it across the field. Britt's going to make a play at it. She gets it into the center. Controlled for a second by Locke, but she has to play it back out. Oh, and it's scored. The first goal of the game. Mary Ashton Limbo laid a soft shot high towards the net. The keeper played it up in the air and then back into her own goal. And just like that, Ridgeland has taken a 1-0 lead. CJ, give me a little bit of description about what we saw, which was a pretty unique goal.
Okay, number 6, I believe, scored that goal. Number 6, Mary Ashton, she likes to take her shots from outside of the 18. It's just what she does. It's her favorite spot to take shots from. And as I was saying earlier in the 4A game, that particular goal, or that particular shot for a goalkeeper is one of the hardest shots to deal with, because you have to take your eye off of the field. You have no clue what's going on around you, and it doesn't help that it's raining. It's going to obviously affect her vision. I think that she got a good hand on it in the first time that she touched the ball. It was just that unfortunate second touch that really did her in. But honestly, it was a good effort put forth by both teams, just resulting in a Ridgeland goal.
So just over 5 minutes into the game, the Lady Titans strike with the goal from junior Mary Ashton Limbo, and it was a good effort by the excuse me, for the freshman keeper Abby Barovic for West Jones, but just bounced high and was able to nestle in right at the top of the net. So here Original will get the ball and just play it into the goal area. Bavaric will come out, place the ball near midfield. West Jones now trying to make a run at it. That is Gary Molden. Want to take another look here in a second of how that goal was scored and how we got to this 1-0 lead. There's Limbo, the kick. CJ, there you go.
Yep. You know, and she really deserves a lot of credit for keeping with that ball. It's really hard ball to handle in the first place, and the fact that she didn't give up on it, that says a lot about the kind of player that she is.
So here's Coleman now with the free kick just on the other side of midfield for the Lady Mustangs. She'll play it hard and right at Haley Hedgewood, the senior keeper for Ridgeland. Ball bounced around a little bit, then kicked into the stands. That'll result in a throw-in for the Lady Titans.
And don't by any means discount West Jones from the rest of this game. If I know anything about the team, an early goal is only going to fire them up. I look forward to having some exceptional soccer in the next 70 minutes.
And it's interesting because in the first game, the 4A girls that we did earlier today, you said those first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of the game can be the scariest as far as goals being put in net.
Exactly, and I know for a fact that both teams are being told that. Both teams know that for a fact because the West Jones head coach or assistant coach was the one that told me that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know West Jones knows it. I know my dad knows it, and the teams are well aware that those 10 minutes combined are the scariest minutes in the entire game of soccer.
So Ridgeland now will get a throw in deep in Lady Mustang territory. Fleming chasing it down. She'll be the one setting things up here for Ridgeland. Fleming's toss goes into the middle of the field to Harris. Then back out to Raven Ellis, who puts it on goal, but there for the save is Bavaric.
It's like a Dementor came up here and just sucked all the happiness out of the room.
That ball placed down and then eventually just kicked out by the backline defense there. Ridgeland going to reset their positioning. Olivia Travis, the one who knocks it out, so the throw in coming from Mia Bridges. Bridges gets it in the turn, and once again Travis knocks it out. It'll be a throw in for the Lady Mustangs.
Well, I'm holding on to my camera with one hand, and I'm holding on to this tarp to keep it from impaling someone in the crowd.
So the ball's set out of bounds here. We're just 10 minutes into this game. Ridgeland Lady Titans with an early goal from Mary Ashton Limbo to take the 1-0 lead. They're holding that over West Jones in the first half of this 5A girls title game. West Jones looking to make a run at it there, but is cleared for a second, then corralled that time by Hunter Eady and knocked out off Ridgeland. So a throw in coming for the Lady Mustangs. Bridges with the throw in. She's looking for Coleman. Coleman will try and turn. The ball goes off of her and into the possession of Ridgeland.
One thing that we're going to have to look for, as long as it keeps raining, is these throw-ins. They're not going to go very far, obviously, because the girls' hands are going to be extremely wet. So throw-ins just being smart with throw-ins is going to be a huge thing that develops into this game.
West Jones with a little bit of an opportunity there. Peyton Roney puts a shot on net, but Hedgewood there to make the save. And it's definitely something we saw in the 4A boys game that preceded this, especially in the second half after the downpour. Guys would rear back to throw it, and it would slip and just kind of fall at their feet. So something to look out for. Ridgeland now controls with Fleming on the outside. Fleming makes a move back to the center of the field. She's got some open space to work with it. We'll get it across the field to Britt. Now Britt tries to work to the middle of the field. A little tap back.
No, I don't know that song.
And now, out of bounds, Britt will head over there to take the throw in. She gets it into Limbo. Limbo takes another long shot. That one takes a tough hop, but this time Barovic there for the save. And CJ, that was another one of those kind of difficult shots from pretty far out.
Yeah, definitely. I would look for Mary Ashton Limbo to take many of those shots. And that save especially was very important for Abby Barovic because she knows that she can get her hands on a ball that Mary Ashton Limbo strikes.
The free kick set up for Limbo here, placed just outside the 20 on this Arrow field, which has the markings of the football field where the Clinton High School Arrows play during the fall. And talk to me a little bit about the goal play, because you look and you have Barovic, the freshman, up against Hedgewood, the senior. How much does that experience, factor into this game?
You would think that does factor in, but actually Barovic's been a goalkeeper for 3 years. This is her second year. So even though Hegwood probably has more experience on the high school level, Barovic has more experience in the goal.
Things getting pretty physical down there as Carrie Malden made the push. Ball goes out of bounds, so West Jones will get a throw in. Coleman.
Now this could end up being pretty scary.
Coleman's kick placed across the center. No one is there to put a head or a foot on it, and it will go out of bounds. Be a goal kick coming up for Hegwood. Ridgeland trying to clear here, but West Jones will hold on to possession. Ball crossed into the middle, and Hegwood will have to run out and corral that before Malden could get a foot on it. And Carly Malden is coming off a game in which she had a huge performance, scoring 3 goals for the Lady Mustangs as they beat East Central in the semifinals 3-1. And for West Jones to get to this point in the playoffs, they opened with Pascagoula, beat them pretty handily 6-0, had a close game against West Harrison in the next round. Lady Mustangs winning that 2-1, and then earlier this week, West Jones taking down East Central 3-1 to get back to the title game, a game they won 3-2 over Ridgeland last year. So the free kick placed into the middle of the field. The turn and push up by Ridgeland. Looking for Locke. Locke operating in the middle of the field. Tries to get possession of it, but is eventually knocked over. That will draw a call. That will be a free kick coming up for Ridgeland. Once again, it'll be Limbo taking this. She lofts it up again. Another really tough hop, and another one that gets in for a Ridgeland goal. For the second time this game, Mary Ashton Limbo beats the keeper on a long kick, and Ridgeland leads West Jones 2-0 here in the first half.
I think it's really important to talk about the rain factor on your gloves right now. One of the hardest elements to play in if you're a goalkeeper is rain, because if you don't keep your gloves dry, you can't catch anything, and it really doesn't matter if you can keep them dry if the ball is still wet. So I think that's something that Abby's having a hard time with, especially with those shots from the outside, because if you take a shot from the outside, it's going to have more speed, more velocity than just a normal lofted shot from the inside. Those balls are extremely hard to handle, and I think that's what we're seeing right now.
Is Limbo doing anything special on that shot when she places it? Because it looked like when it hit, it almost skipped quickly and had a different spin to it.
Yeah, Limbo, she is very creative with the ball. She does know how to put a spin on it, but it's mostly the surface that's doing that, because, like I said in the 4A game, if you kick the ball at speed, as soon as it hits this wet turf, it's going to speed up. And that's automatically an extremely difficult ball for a goalkeeper to handle.
So a couple of quick early goals here, less than 20 minutes into the game, and the Lady Titans with the 2-0 lead on West Jones. Both goals coming off the right foot of Mary Ashton Limbo. So if you're on the West Jones sideline, if you're Coach Gigger, what do you do to try and make sure your girls realize that there's still a lot of time left and not to get too down right now?
Well, honestly, I think you just have to tell them. They see the scoreboard. They see how much time is left. Right now, they're probably pretty down since they're down 2-0. But at halftime, this is something that needs to be addressed. You have to think of the two halves in soccer like a mirror. If one team can do it, the other team can do it. If Ridgeland can come out and score 2 quick goals in a little over 20 minutes, West Jones has the opportunity to do the exact same thing.
West Jones trying to make a push here as the ball goes out. Well, take me into the mindset of a keeper right now, like Berevic, who's had a couple of goals get past her. Where's her confidence at?
I would have to say that right now she's struggling a little bit mentally wise, because those are 2 extremely hard shots to stop. In the mentality of a goalkeeper, you automatically take everything on yourself. You forget that it has to get through 10 other players to get to you, and you focus solely on your solo position, but that's how you're trained. That's how a good goalkeeper thinks. Right now, I can guarantee you that Berevic is replaying both of those goals in her head, seeing what she could have done wrong. And that's where it's really gonna matter that she's mentally tough. She's got mentally tough. She's got to forget about those goals, throw them away like they didn't matter, and focus on the next shot.
So we're almost at the halfway point here in the first half of action, with Ridgeland leading 2-0. West Jones trying to work their way back into this game. The ball gets through the defense, but then cleared out by Travis. Played upfield once again. Ridgeland will work it over. Britt to make a run at it, but can't get to the ball in time. It'll go out, be a throw in for West Jones. And that looked like one of those throw-ins you were talking about. She reared back to throw, and it kind of slipped up and was almost more of a pop-up.
Exactly. You're gonna see a lot of those, in my opinion.
Hunter Eady makes the turn and kicks it upfield. It'll go out of bounds. Ridgeland will have the throw in near midfield, making a little bit of a change on their line right now. It is Shannon Locke coming back in for Tracy Hobbs. Locke giving a little bit of a breather.
For the Lady Mustangs in the game number 3, Jordan Hollifield.
Here's Locke with an opportunity. She'll tap it over to Hannah Harris. Back out to Limbo.
Mississippi is my least favorite state in the union.
West Jones thwarts that rally. They try and counter. The ball placed forward. No one is there to get it, so quickly the turn and kick out of bounds by Allison Bunch to clear things.
I think that's something that's not used enough in the women's game and at the high school level is the pass back to the goalkeeper. I said it once before in the 4A championship for the girls. So many of these balls that go out could be prevented if there was just enough communication between the defender and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is completely able to use their feet. It's a confidence deal between the two players, because obviously the goalkeepers don't touch it with their feet as much. But if that was utilized, a lot of these balls that are going out wouldn't be going out, and a lot of possession could be kept.
Haley Britt now to take the free kick for Ridgeland. Looking to get the defender moved back off the ball just a little bit, so Britt will leave it in the middle of the field. It is headed back past the end line, so that'll result in a corner kick coming up for the Lady Titans.
Get him some frog blood. You hear that? What?
The ball is placed down by Limbo. She's been deadly with her strikes so far in this game. She leaves this one on the back side of the goal. Bounces past Britt and will go out of bounds.
A lot of this equipment's going to be cockeyed. Because it thinks that there's no rain on it. That's probably just you. Parker's got it too, but I don't hear anything.
Berevic plays it out into the middle of the field. West Jones trying to create a little bit of offense. We haven't seen much from the Lady Mustangs on the offensive end. Haven't really found a rhythm with scoring opportunities yet.
Anytime that Sarah Coleman gets loose, you start to worry as a defensive player. I mean, that's evidence enough right there. She gets the ball at her foot, and instantly there's a scoring opportunity. That's why Raven Ellis is such a big part for this Ridgeland team in this game, because Sarah is her mission the entire game. Sarah Coleman doesn't get the ball. Sarah Coleman doesn't move with the ball, because she is that much of a threat.
Coleman with a good effort individually there to create an opportunity, tried to play it across, but Hedgewood able to come across, get her hands on it. But now we have a free kick set up as Coleman trots across the field to get ready to take this. And again, Hedgewood comes out showing the confidence to go get the ball before anybody else can make a play on it. So the Ridgeland Lady Titans lead 2-0 here in the first half of the 5A Girls State Championship game. Just over 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Ball in the middle of the field. Shannon Locke goes for it, and then it's tipped over to Fleming. Fleming in the middle. Looks to get it up to Locke. Try and chase it down in the corner. The ball goes out of bounds. It will be a throw-in coming for Ridgeland.
Tell them I can see it, but it won't. Every time I wipe it, every time I wipe it, it just comes right back.
So Fleming will handle the throw-in. She looks to get it to Rachel Harris. Back to Fleming, and then back to Harris. Harris backtracking here. Gets it across the field to Raven Ellis.
Keeps coming back. It's coming. Yeah, mine's not doing that.
And then played back in the middle. Limbo over to Britt. Britt the one touch. Can't quite control it, but Limbo able to tap it back out to Bunch. And then Bunch will launch it deep and pass the end line there. So another goal kick coming up for West Jones.
Yeah. I heard you earlier. That's awesome. Why can't we do that all the time?
Again, ball placed deep in Lady Mustang territory. Kicked up by Hannah Harris, and then back in the middle, Limbo. Limbo puts another shot on goal. This time, Barovic comes out, makes the save on it. And I got to imagine every time she touches the ball, it gives her a little more confidence.
Exactly. Every touch for her, she wants every single touch that she can get right now. With every single touch, every time that her hands become familiar with that ball, her confidence level goes back up, and those goals become a thing of the past.
Ball back in the middle of the field. West Jones trying to get control of it, but Raven Ellis will get free. Gets it up to Locke. Locke tries to tap it over to Fleming, but played back. You talked a little bit about earlier about how slick the gloves get. Is there any way to prevent that, or in conditions like this, you just have to deal with it?
There are certain ways you can prevent. I just like to ball up my fists and put my palms towards the ground, but if the ball's wet, there's not really much that you can do about it. You're going to get water in your gloves when you touch the ball.
Hannah Harris comes with the takeaway, gets it into the middle of the field, unable to capitalize, but out to Limbo. Limbo winds up, a high floater to the right side. Fleming will track it down in the corner. Fleming is called for the shove, and it'll be a free kick set up for the Lady Mustangs. Just over 12 minutes now on the clock in the first half of this 5A championship game. Ridgeland on top, 2-0. That one played over to Britt. Britt with a touch towards the goal and another opportunity, but Barovic comes up with the save. She's bounced back with some nice plays here the last few attempts.
That was a phenomenal save by Barovic, and those balls, once again, really hard to handle, especially if it's coming off of the ground. Because every time that the ball rolls, you're getting the water that spits back up in your face. So anytime you have to do a grass cutter type dive, you're going to get water in your face. If you can hold on to the ball, that's great. But in those situations, you really just want to make contact with it. So the simple fact that she held on to it was great on her part.
Lady Mustangs pushing up now. Ball placed into the middle by Beth Coleman. And then Sarah tries to track it down. Can't quite get a foot on it. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Ridgeland.
Did Juan get my bag out of the car? I didn't ask him to. I was just wondering if he got it.
CJ, tell me a little bit about these programs in general and what's made them kind of the dominant programs in Class 5A.
I think it all starts in the youth programs. Both of these schools are located in a city where the youth soccer programs are taken very seriously. I grew up in the Laurel Jones County Soccer Association, and I loved playing. I was told that one day I was going to be a Mustang, and that's something that I always look forward to. So when I got there, when I was finally a Mustang in 8th grade, all I wanted to do was play soccer. All I wanted to do was win games and see my school succeed. And I imagine it's the same way. Watching my sister grow up in the Madison County Soccer Association, they're ingraining the same things in these kids. One day you're going to grow up and you're going to be a Ridgeland Titan. You're going to play for, the Lady Titans, or you're going to play for the Lady Mustangs, something that kids look forward to. And I think that kind of mentality and also the support from these parents that these kids get are what's key for the development of the players.
And I know you see a lot of these players like yourself that have come through these programs, moved on to Division I level. The girls see that. They strive for that. I know at Ridgeland, we talked about it earlier, a name like Rachel Given carries a lot of weight around there. When she won 5 state titles, went and won a couple of national titles for North Carolina, and just the prestige that kind of is around the names of these schools.
Exactly, and it's players like Rachel Given who put our schools on the map. Rachel Given single-handedly put women's soccer in the state of Mississippi on the map with how well she did with our U.S. national team, and then how well she continued to do at UNC. So in a way, all of these girls who continue to go on and play soccer at the next level, they owe some small bit of it, however small it may be, to the names like Rachel Given.
Well, I know when I moved to Mississippi in 2008, it didn't take me long to learn of the legacy of Rachel Given. I had a chance to meet her a couple of times and get to be friends with her, and a great person. But I've heard stories of how good she was on the field and how dominant she was at the high school level. Back to action here. West Jones making a push as Coleman tries to make a run down the near side. It'll be knocked out there. And as you said, it's Ellis following her like a shadow.
And that's what she's going to plan on doing for the rest of the night.
So Allison Bunch now will take the throw in as we wind down to 8 minutes remaining in this first half. She gets it up to Britt. Britt will get it back to Bunch. Bunch will try and loft it out. Meanwhile, Lady Mustangs try and keep it down in their own end. The touch by Roney. And then the play on it by Beth Coleman. Again knocked out, so a throw in coming here as Bridges will try and set up the Lady Mustangs with a scoring opportunity. Played back in the middle of the field, headed by Ellis. And then touched again. Limbo tries to control now. She will loft it over to Britt. Britt touches it up to Harris. Harris making the play on it. She will control. Harris along the near side into the middle of the field. And then cleared out there before we get a stoppage in play. And the yellow card comes out.
Now, I guarantee you that on the field there's a lot of words being exchanged between these two teams. They are, as some would put, bitter rivals. They don't like each other. It's very obvious. And so, it's going to be reflected in their physicality between each other, but also in the exchange of words on the field.
Number 24, Tracy Hobbs, now in the game for Ridgeland.
So once again, it'll be a free kick. Or just a kick in. Explain to me that situation right there. Just kind of the right gesture.
Yeah, that's what you're going to call just a courtesy kick. The teams work out before who's going to kick it. You usually send it either back to the furthest defender or the goalkeeper.
Ridgeland works it up to Harrison in the middle of the field to Locke. Locke will turn, and a floater into the middle of the field. Another tough ball and a collision in the box. Making the charge there was Tracy Hobbs for Ridgeland. She collides with Abby Barovic.
Yeah, that's a hard call to make for any ref. There's a rule that you have to protect your goalkeeper. Your goalkeeper is basically the jewel in the crown. You're not supposed to go after any ball that she's already got. That, however, I feel like was probably a little bit of a questionable call. I'm not really sure that she had complete control of it, and it looked as though the forward for Ridgeland was going with momentum. But I'm not the ref, so unfortunately my opinion doesn't count.
And we can kind of take a look at it, CJ, if you want to show me a little bit about what happened there.
Yeah. Even in the replay, it doesn't look like she had complete control over it, but not a ref.
And if the goalie does not have complete control, the ball is live the entire time, correct?
It definitely is. And the goalkeeper has certain rules or certain things that they can do to protect themselves. The main thing that you want to do as a goalkeeper on that, obviously, is get your hands on the ball. But the second, you bring up your knee. So it serves as protection and balance. So that's something that if a field player were to do, it would be called as a foul. But since a goalkeeper can do it, it's free game for her.
West Jones tries to make a run down the field, but Raven Ellis given the yellow card. So it has the intensity has picked up a little bit here. Things were kind of slow after Ridgeland scored those first two goals, but the action picking up here in the final 5 minutes of the first half, setting up a big free kick coming from Sarah Coleman. Coleman off the first line of defense there for Ridgeland, and they're able to get the ball out, tracked down by Kelsey Quarles, and then tapped back. Placed back in the middle. Fleming can't handle it. Across the center of the field, Hegwood will make the run over and the save. Another opportunity stopped there by the Lady Titans. This time the foul called on Limbo, and the free kick coming for West Jones.
And that was a very good call by the center ref. Once again, some of these calls, I don't know how these guys see them, but overall the refereeing today has been very good.
Battle for the ball on the far side over there. Quarles going at it with Tracy Hobbs. Will result in a throw-in. Result in a kick coming up for Ridgeland.
Yeah, as we approach the end of this half, things are fixing to get a little bit messy. West Jones is obviously going to be striving to get on the board, and Ridgeland's going to be trying to increase their lead. Since this is such a huge rivalry, we're fixing to see a lot of physical play from both teams.
Coleman now with a chance at center field. Coleman with a little bit of room to operate, gets it into the middle, but stopped there. Coming up with the play is Travis. The left in the center of the field, Limbo going at it. She'll tap it forward and winds up with Hobbs on the far side. Now West Jones will try to control and set something up. The ball placed forward. Roney making the run at it, but not able to track it down. It'll go out just there in the corner.
And Allison Bunch made a really good decision shielding that ball out and not trying to pull it back or, send it back up top. By shielding the ball, she ensured that her team did regain possession. So that was a really smart move on her part.
The tap out taken there by Hollifield, then placed back into the middle. Left up for Bunch. Bunch again over her shoulder. Limbo fighting for it. Limbo able to clear. And the ball will skirt all the way down to the other end of the field. Just over 2 minutes left here in the first half, with Ridgeland leading West Jones 2-0. Now the turn, the ball placed forward for Coleman. Hegwood will come out again and preserve the save before Coleman can get her chance at it.
Haley's been doing an excellent job with her positioning throughout the game. Since they're not seeing the ball quite as much as West Jones is, she's playing more of a higher position. She's not really sticking to her line, and that has been the difference in some of these balls that you've seen. Some of these balls that were probably meant to be crosses have turned into shots because she's just right there. So definitely, even for a keeper with 2 years of experience, that's a big thing to understand is your angles. It's very hard to get a hold of, and she's done an excellent job so far of playing her angles well.
Now down to the final moments of the first half. Ridgeland trying to keep their lead at 2 goals. West Jones would love to grab a little momentum heading into the break. Ball played up to Coleman. Coleman again guarded closely by Raven Ellis. Britt with the throw in. Limbo can't really get a foot on it, but ball gets into the center of the field, tracked down by Harris. And then Locke now with a chance in the center. Locke plays it forward. Here comes Fleming from the outside.
Oh,
great
phenomenal save by Abby
save.
Verovic. That is what I was just talking about on the other end, how Haley was using her angles. Abby is no stranger to her angles either. That was just honestly, that was just the perfect decision. Coming out hands first, as fast as you can at the forward. If anything, it makes them nervous. She got a piece of the ball, which is incredible, especially seeing as how wet the field is and how hard the game this has been. Phenomenal job by Abby Verovic.
Verovic has bounced back really well here in the last 20 minutes of the first half. I've given up those 2 early goals. Made some big saves. That will mark the end of the first half of play here in the girls 5A state championship game. It is Ridgeland on top of West Jones by a score of 2-0 here at Arrow Field. When we come back, we will recap the action from the first half and take a look at what both teams need to do when they come back for the final 40 minutes. You're watching state championship soccer here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSHSAA.TV/SBP.
It's halftime here in Clinton, Mississippi, where Ridgeland leads West Jones 2-0 in the 5A Girls State Championship game. I'm Travis Raychek alongside CJ Winship. And CJ, it was Mary Ashton Limbo with 2 goals in the first half on some really tough long shots to give the Lady Titans the lead.
Yeah, those were 2 extremely good shots, well placed by Mary Ashton Limbo. Unfortunate in the side of West Jones and their goalkeeper, Abby Verovic.
And Verovic did respond, though, was able to make some big saves to keep the lead at just 2 goals. And that's where we sit at halftime between these 2 rivals here in girls soccer. When we come back, we will have the second half, the conclusion of the 5A Girls State Championship game. Keep it here.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSHSAA.TV/SBP.
Welcome back to Arrow Field here in Clinton, Mississippi, site of your state championship soccer action. We're at halftime of the 5A girls game. Ridgeland Lady Titans leading West Jones 2-0. I'm Travis Raycheck, joined this half by Macy Wallace. We want to thank CJ Winship for helping us out in the broadcast the first half of the game. Macy comes in now and brings some very unique perspective to the broadcast. She played at West Jones, is now on the team at Southern Miss. And Macy, you played in this game last year, so you have a very fresh memory of the rivalry between the Lady Mustangs and the Lady Titans.
Oh, absolutely. It's always been an intense one. Ever since my first year showing up here, we played playing Ridgeland here, and it's just always been a really intense game. And you expect it, the atmosphere to be great, and you expect it to be a great turnout, and you expect the players to play for the whole game, and that's what they've been doing, and hopefully come out in the second half and, we'll get some more soccer.
You were up here with us watching the first half as it unfolded, and Ridgeland getting those 2 goals from Mary Ashton Limbo. What did you take from that? It looked like the Lady Titans kind of controlled the action the first 40 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the most important thing about that shot, though, is that she took it. On this surface and in this weather, that's one thing as a striker. You got CJ's goalkeeping aspect of it there, but you look at it as a striker, and I mean, that's what you have to do on this turf and this weather, anything. You just put shots on frame, and all kind of things can happen in this kind of weather. So
Ridgeland leading 2-0 as we get started here in the second half. This half, the Lady Titans will be going from left to right on your TV screen. They have the blue shorts on with the dark blue and light blue tops. West Jones in the white jerseys and the green shorts on your screen. We've battled a little bit of weather out here today, but things seem all right for now. The rain has subsided. The field is going to be wet. The ball's still going to be slick, but it is much better than the game before this, the 4A boys game, in which there was a long delay at halftime. So here we go. West Jones with an opportunity. Ball placed into the scoring area, but the call goes against West Jones and will result in the free kick coming up for Ridgeland. So far this weekend, 4 state championship games are in the books. It all started yesterday afternoon when the Our Lady Academy girls won 5-0 over Clarkdale, continuing their dominance in girls soccer, and the nightcap, the Sacred Heart boys, winning 3-1 over Philadelphia to capture a title. Then earlier today in 4A girls action, we had a great one that went to 2 overtime periods. The Florence Lady Eagles beating Bay High 2-1, but the folks from Bay High didn't leave empty-handed. Their boys come back in the 4A boys game to take down Corinth by a score of 2-1. So that gets us here to the 5A girls game with Ridgeland and West Jones. This a rematch of last year's game, and these teams have played quite a bit, in fact, in the championship game, meeting for the title 4 of the last 5 years. Some proud programs here, and a lot of history between them. So second half action, we're just underway, over 2 minutes in.
Looks like West has gotten a little bit of life back into them. So let's see if Ridgeland can hold tight to their defense and protect themselves in these first 5 minutes like we talked about. It's always the first 5 minutes you want to open up, you want to be strong, you want to make a statement. So.
And Macy, you would know better than anybody, what would Coach Gigger be saying at halftime with his team down 2-0?
There's still a lot of time left in the game. That's part of the game. I believe last year, actually, Ridgeland scored first against West Jones, and, it's one of those never give up, never give in attitudes, and I think that's what West Jones and Ridgeland have always been known for, and their soccer attitudes, and it's going to be a fight all the way to the end. You can guarantee that.
One of the players we highlighted at the beginning of the game was Sarah Coleman for the Lady Mustangs. She had a couple of good touches, some opportunities in the first half, but how important is it to get her in space a little bit more and let her create.
It always is. She's one of those players that likes to get her own self into space. So if she can get the ball at her feet and do the work that she knows that she can do, it looks like she's playing a lot more up top, a lot more in a striker role. So we'll see how that works out. She's really good and really elusive on the ball with the ball at her feet. So hopefully she can get some room to run and make some magic.
Ball played up that time. West Jones was looking for Beth Coleman streaking down the near side, but the pass played too far in front. However, we do get the foul called just on the other side of midfield. Coleman will set it up for the free kick opportunity for the Lady Mustangs.
Good
Coleman
strike.
plays it hard and right at Hegwood, who's been solid the entire game, comes up to make that save. Ridgeland turns the other way. That ball played by Locke into the scoring area, but Abby Barovic coming up to make the save.
One piece of pizza.
Macy, tell me a little bit about Barovic and, you know, having to come back from those 2 early goals going in and trying to maintain her confidence the rest of this game.
That definitely is a struggle. As a keeper, you know, you always want, like CJ said earlier in this game, you always want to keep a clean slate. And so, you know, when one gets in, you do blame it on yourself, not realizing that there are 10 other players that it had to come through. She's a great young player, though, and I look for her to bounce back and, you know, just come back with her self-confidence and play hard to the end here.
She did make some big saves late in the first half to keep the score where it's at right now. Ridgeland now on the move with Hannah Harris. Tries to play it up to Letitia Fleming, but stopped there. Harris will knock it back over and then out of bounds. So a throw-in coming for Ridgeland. Fleming tries to get into Harris. It is knocked away by Jamie Grice. So we'll reset, do the throw in once again. As Grice once again clearing, getting it upfield. Then the ball played forward to Sarah Coleman. She'll make a run at it, but Haley Hegwood is there quickly to come up with the save.
That's why you have to be so careful playing those through balls, especially on this slick turf. It skips and just, you know, seems to, hate to say an easy ball because never an easy ball in the game, but it seems to be just an easy ball that feeds right into the hands of the keeper.
How do you adjust to that if this is a different surface than you've played on all year? Some of these teams play on artificial surfaces, but a wet surface too. Is there a way to kind of prepare yourself for the way it's going to skip?
I think it's just one of those things as a player you learn over time. I mean, both of these teams have played on this turf. 2 years ago, you know, it wasn't exactly great weather. Last year, I think we had a beautiful day for it. But both of these teams have played on turf where it's been bad weather, and it's just an experience thing. You try to keep the ball more on the ground so you can keep it from skipping and doing that. Try to play to feet, quick 1-2s, quick combination play, and, you know, hopefully that'll settle it and you can get it more and keep it on the ground and keep more control of it.
Coleman takes the kick from near midfield, gets it all the way down on goal, but Hegwood there to come up with the save. She quickly shovels it out. Fleming tries to chase it down, but can't get to it in time. So Grice will throw in. Ball being headed around as the Lady Mustangs try to control it, but up to Harris. Harris will turn for Ridgeland into the center of the field, continues to play on, and it gets loose there for a second, but the back line of defense for West Jones comes away with it. Now Sarah Coleman.
And this is what she likes, ball at her feet.
Ball in the center of the field, a touch, but too wide to the far side. She created an opportunity there, but wasn't able to get the strike on it she was looking for. Does result in a corner kick, so an opportunity here for the Lady Mustangs as Beth Coleman will take it from the far corner.
Beth is very dangerous at delivering balls from the outside, too, so you can look at this to be a threat.
Coleman plays it in the center of the field.
Great defense by Ridgeland there.
Headed out. Grice tries to control it, but it's back into the middle of the field. Played in. Hegwood again comes hustling up to get her mitts on it.
She's done really great at staying off her line, coming off her line, and attacking balls tonight.
Ball goes out of bounds near midfield. West Jones will get the throw in. Mia Bridges will come up and handle that. Ball being fought for in the middle of the field. Harris and Fleming there. Fleming will make the turn, try to make a move on it.
So do I just forgot.
But taken from her. And then Fleming called for the push, as Meredith Follis makes the run at it.
You always have to watch that in soccer. They may not call the initial foul, but if you retaliate or if you come back, they're always guaranteed going to call that ball. I think a lot of offensive players have to learn that, the hard way several times.
So Coleman will have another opportunity here. Sarah plays it right across the center of the field. No one able there to get ahead onto it. Ball will get out of bounds. And once again, Ridgeland avoiding any harm. They'll be set up with the goal kick. Short stoppage in play. It looked like maybe some of the Ridgeland fans were giving Barovic a hard time down there. So the ref steps in and gets something said. We're back to action.
I always love that as a player, though, when the opposite fans would yell at me because, it meant I was doing something right.
And I'll say this too, I've covered enough Ridgeland sports to know that they have some pretty enthusiastic student sections at a lot of their different sporting events. So I can't hear what's going on out there, but I can imagine.
Oh, absolutely, but you have to appreciate, they have a rich tradition, obviously, especially in soccer. So, if a school can get behind their program, that's great.
Raven Ellis comes up with a steal here. She pushes it forward, looking for Shannon Locke. Locke will chase it down, battling with Bridges. Ball knocked out, will stay in possession of the Lady Titans. Once again, Ridgeland, thanks to 2 first-half goals, leads West Jones 2-0 in the second half of the 5A Girls State Championship game. We are more than 10 minutes into the second half of this rematch from a game West Jones won last year. Meanwhile, Ridgeland is going for their 8th state title in just 10 years of existence. A short tradition, but a very rich tradition for the Lady Titans. That ball placed on goal. Barovic comes out to make the save and quickly gets it out. And once again, we talked about in the first half, as much as they want to get Sarah Coleman involved, Raven Ellis is with her every step of the way. She denies her the pass there as well, up to Fleming, and then knocked out.
She is. It is very hard to find a player defensively who can match Sarah Coleman's speed, because she is so quick in her agility, her ability to change, from one way to the other. But Ellis definitely has always given her fits on the field. They're 2 great players with much respect for each other, and I think they love the chance to play each other.
Coleman coming into this game with 36 goals on the year.
Sorry, I'm walking up across the water. But I'll watch
West Jones do anything just to get one goal somehow here to kind of get back into the game, get the momentum on their side. Limbo and Bridges going after a ball. There it'll bounce out off of the Lady Mustangs. It'll be a throw-in coming on the far side for Haley Britt. Britt will get it in the middle of the field to Ellis. Ellis taps it back to Britt, who crosses, and Berevic comes up with the save. Now Coleman operates in the middle of the field. Tries to work it up to Follis, but knocked out quickly there. Be a throw-in coming for West Jones. Throw-in coming for Ridgeland, and not to the liking of the Mustang faithful here. Ball tapped over. Coleman looking to make a run on it. That one knocked out of bounds. It'll be off the Lady Mustangs. Goal kick coming for Hegwood and the Lady Titans.
Now in the game, Taylor Herring for the West Jones Lady Mustangs.
You see Ridgeland taking a little bit of time to line up the free kick. The goal kick, excuse me, they get it up. Locke makes a play on it, but is knocked down.
Clear down.
And it looks like Shannon Locke may be down and going to be attended to here.
You always hate to see a player go down, especially in the state championship. Hopefully she'll be able to come back full speed. Hopefully this will just be a minor stinger and she can finish this game out the way I know she wants to.
Shannon Locke being attended to over there. So just over 25 minutes remaining. What is the strategy right now for West Jones as they try to find a way just to get on the board and make a game of this?
Well, obviously you want to score a few goals, but I think the way to do that would be to gain possession and better take care of the ball and make passes, quick 1-2s. This team has always been about speed in the attack, and I think that they need to settle down and, like I said, quick combination play and get players into the box and fire some shots on goal.
Have they been a little off this game, or are they not playing it as well as you're used to seeing from them?
Actually, yes. I haven't seen much of the quick combination play and with the shot at the end. I would like to see more of that, more possession and more playing out wide and then swinging the ball inside and getting something off of it, creating chances. But then, again, on the opposite side of that, Ridgeland's defense has played very solid this entire game.
I was just about to say, how much does that can be attributed to the Lady Titans and the way they match up with West Jones?
Absolutely. I think they've given each other fits on that end of the game right now. Ridgeland's defense with Ellis and then led by Hegwood has been very dominant tonight in this game. They've done very strong.
To recap, to get to this point in the postseason, West Jones went through Pascagoula, West Harrison, and East Central to reach this 5A title game. Meanwhile, in the north half of the bracket, Ridgeland gets through Saltillo 7-0. They beat New Hope, and then they beat Oxford 3-0. Shutouts in all of those games. Impressive performances all around, and pitching a shutout in this game as well.
I think that speaks volumes for Coach Winship and his defense. But even when I played under Coach Winship back in, I want to say U14, he was always a very strategic defensive coach. And, that's always something you're going to get with him is a defensive team that's really well put together.
So it looks like Locke has been helped off the field. She will go to the sidelines, and we're about ready to resume play here. Over 25 minutes remaining here in the second half with Ridgeland on top of West Jones 2-0. Ball played over to Bunch, then back into the middle field and cleared quickly, but out of bounds. And Ridgeland's not in any hurry to go pick up those loose balls, are they?
Oh, absolutely not. That's when you kill a little bit of time. You jog out there, you look like you're trying to go get it, but you just take a little time off the clock if you can.
Shannon Locke, number 2, was the injured player for the Lady Tigers.
They're just eating up the clock.
Haley Britt with the throw-in coming.
Tracy Hobbs.
Being battled for by Harris and a couple of West Jones defenders. Lady Mustangs knock it out of bounds again, so Britt will throw it in once again. Over to Fleming and then a tap back as Raven Ellis battles Coleman for possession. Now in the center of the field, played up to Harris.
That is a kick you do not want to happen, especially when you're trying to gain momentum in this last 25 minutes of this half.
So a huge opportunity coming up here for Ridgeland. Haley Britt will take the kick. Plays it way too high.
And I know West Jones is wiping the sweat off of their foreheads right now. They are happy they dodged a bullet there.
So the score remains 2-0, 23 minutes and counting left in this 5A championship game. Both of the goals coming from the right foot of Mary Ashton Limbo, both coming in the first 20 minutes of the first half. We've been scoreless since then. This one played up to Britt on the far side in a collision as the ball is knocked out of bounds. That will result in a corner kick coming up for the Lady Titans.
That's also something, I don't know how Summer Anderson judged that ball, but that's also something that you want to try not to give away is too many corner kicks, because as every goalkeeper, striker, every field player you have knows, corner kicks can be very dangerous.
The girl that got kicked is on the ground.
Looks like we might have another injured Lady Titan down on the field, and that might be Britt, who was involved in the collision there going up for the play. Just a few minutes ago, Shannon Locke had to be helped off the field. Now Britt is up on her own power and walking it off.
Number 4, Haley Britt, injured on the play.
She'll check out for just a minute, it looks like. And in for her will be Britton Welsen. Limbo plays it in the middle field. Chance there for Tracy Hobbs, but unable to capitalize. So ball goes across. Will be a goal kick coming up for West Jones. Fighting out there for the ball is Follis and Hobbs. Hobbs will get it in quickly to Rachel Harris. Then knocked back to the center of the field to Bunch. Bunch plays it forward. He goes through a pair of Lady Mustang defenders. Fleming giving chase. It will go out off West Jones. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Fleming.
West Jones is leaving a huge gap in between their midfield and their strikers right now, which is not good when you're trying to develop an attack.
Opportunity right here for the Titans in the middle of the field. Played over the top. Hobbs will make a run at it, but headed out. And then once again cleared.
And Ridgeland is high pressure. They are not letting up at all. They're not going into defensive mode. They are keeping their attack up. They want more goals.
Ridgeland's maintained possession down here for a couple of minutes now. Getting some opportunities. Tracy Hobbs will throw in. Looks across the field for Limbo, then brought out to Follis. Here comes West Jones. Played in the center, looking for Coleman. Coleman can't get to it in time. Runs into Olivia Travis, and that will be a yellow card on Sarah Coleman.
That is something you don't want to see, is your leader go off the field with a yellow card when you're trying to develop momentum in this game.
So Coleman will come out for a little bit as Travis will take the free kick for the Lady Titans, who lead 2-0 with just 20 minutes left in this 5A championship game.
20 minutes is still a lot of time, so both teams still battling it out to the end.
Looks like a little bit of confusion on the call, but West Jones will get the free kick on their half of the field at about the 40-yard line marked here on Arrow Field. Placed out there by Anderson, but unable to do anything with it. Hobbs will get possession. But now Beth Coleman comes away. Beth trying to set something up. The tap out to Follis. Follis will make a run at it from the near side. She controls it and then has it taken away by Travis. Travis to Limbo. Limbo up to Harris.
Good step by the defense there.
But then taken away by Anderson. So West Jones trying to mount some sort of rally here in the second half, down 2 goals. Harris now Limbo. Limbo plays it up. Looking for Fleming. Fleming has a chance, but Barovic comes and makes a sliding save. A good play by the freshman keeper to get out quickly and prevent that opportunity.
That was great judgment by the freshman keeper, Abby Barovic, for West Jones there.
So as much as West Jones would like to be putting pressure on the Titans, they just really haven't been able to get too many opportunities in the game in general, let alone this second half. But now Sarah Coleman does get back onto the field. As well as Haley Britt. She seems to be okay from her slight injury a little bit earlier. There's Britt right there with the ball in the middle of the field. But now it works up to Coleman. Coleman will turn and try to make a run down the near sideline, but Raven Ellis will not leave her side. Ellis knocks the ball out of bounds off of Coleman, so it's a Titan throw in.
Hobbs. We have under 18 minutes remaining in Class 5A Girls State Championship soccer. Lady Titans 2 and the Lady Mustangs 0.
Anderson heads it out. Now Britt will touch it up. Was looking for Harris. Then back in the middle of the field. Limbo takes a high shot at it. Too high, as it will loft over the top of the goal and out the back. So just over 17 minutes now. Ridgeland with those 2 first half goals maintain their lead over West Jones. Played up to Coleman. Has multiple defenders around her, but able to get the foul drawn on her, so a free kick.
You can guarantee, though, Sarah is one tough player, and she will not be taken down or go down easily. I think all of these players on the field, deserve a round of applause for making it this far. I think people don't realize how much really goes into making a state championship run. You have to have, of course, the personnel on the field, the coaching staff, but you also have to be fortunate enough to keep everybody healthy throughout the year. And I think that's been a big part of both of these teams' success.
West Jones back the other way. Obviously, Coleman is getting a lot of attention today, but she's got to be used to that. I'm sure teams spotlight her every game and try and put as many people on her as they can, right?
Oh, absolutely. With her skill and technique and her speed, and as CJ mentioned earlier, her work ethic is just something that, is widely known. She's a great player, and she is a threat, and so people are definitely going to cover her with one or maybe two, people if they have to.
Here they get it into Coleman. Ellis right there on her back. She'll tap it back out to Beth Coleman. Beth will center it to the middle. Hegwood comes out.
That was a great grab under pressure.
Making the run there was Carly Molden, just a step away from having a good play in the box on that. But again, finally a little bit of pressure being applied by the Lady Mustangs. Ridgeland will now try and work it up. Hobbs across. Harris at midfield. And then Hobbs back over to Bunch. Bunch will get it before it goes out of bounds. Placed in the middle of the field. Fleming now has a little bit of space to operate with. Fleming to Harris. Back to Fleming. But knocked out of there by Follis before a shot is taken. Now Haley Britt will take a shot. Hers goes high and over the crossbar. Under 15 minutes now. Ridgeland closer and closer to capturing their 8th state title in program history. Limbo will operate. Push it up to Britt. Britt to Fleming in the middle of the field. And knocked back out. So West Jones will try and counter. Get up to Beth Coleman. Beth looks for Sarah. But Bunch is over there to knock it loose. Now Rachel Harris clears far upfield. Berevic will come out and corral that before there's any trouble.
What's that phrase? Bend it like who?
Now Harris will leave it in the middle of the field. And again, Ridgeland seems content to just kind of clear and make West Jones go the length of the field. But now Fleming with an opportunity here. She'll put a shot on goal. Berevic comes out with a sliding save. Not out of trouble yet. Once again, a one-hopper into the chest of Berevic. 2 big saves for the freshman there.
Absolutely. Ridgeland, if they can keep West Jones out of the net, they've got this game. So, of course, that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to keep them out of their attacking third, and they're going to want to stay in their attacking third and keep applying pressure. If they can get more goals, that definitely does not hurt them.
Ridgeland with a great opportunity there. Fleming almost had the 3rd goal of the game, but Abby Berevic came out, challenged her, made the save. Limbo having a little trouble holding on to the ball, as we talked about. Still slick conditions out there, even though the rain has passed by for now and hopefully will stay away for the rest of the day. Still 3 games left to be played. The next one coming up after this, the 5A boys game between Starkville and Pascagoula. Anderson plays the ball up. Coleman tries to come away with it. She'll have the throw in here. Collision down near the box will stop play.
Looks like they may have just hit heads.
Between Tracy Hobbs and Meredith Follis down there. So
is a
big kick
dangerous
coming
place.
up here.
You do not want Sarah Coleman lined up against you taking a kick from right here. But then again, Ridgeland's defense has proven true all day.
The tap back to Sarah, but it doesn't work out. Tell me what happened there. They tried to get the quick tap back, but it just wasn't in the right place.
I think Beth may have just back-heeled it just a little too hard, or it could have even been just the turf may have taken a little bit there as well, but it definitely did not go, I think, as they had planned it.
Big opportunity. Pass by West Jones there. So now played forward to Fleming. Fleming will get it up to Britt. Britt along the far side. She'll cross in the middle field looking for Harris. Hobbs there as well. Confusion in the middle, and the shot from Harris is too high. She had a great look at the goal there, but couldn't quite finish it.
Once again, West Jones dodging a bullet there. I think they may just be panicking now. They know they need a goal.
That time Limbo comes over the back, gets the whistle called on her. So again, we're almost at the 10-minute mark left in this game, with West Jones trailing Ridgeland by a score of 2-0. Olivia Travis on the back end, plays the ball out, but still in the zone. Tapped over Bunch with the kick up to midfield. Then it's over to Quarles. Quarles runs into Limbo, and Limbo will touch it over to Hobbs, and then out of bounds on West Jones. Harris over to Fleming. Fleming will turn. Another collision at midfield. That call will go against the Lady Mustangs.
That's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to get too physical in this game. You want to keep the ball moving, and you want to keep it moving in your favor and try and develop some possession and go score some goals and hopefully get back into this game in these last 10 minutes.
Malden has it taken away just for a second by Harris. But then back over to West Jones. Coleman trying to set up position. Fighting hard for it. Ball is loose in the center of the field. Touched up. Travis and Coleman battling for it. Coleman will come away with it. She'll tap it out to Beth Coleman. Beth with a strike across the field, but her shot is wide and will go out.
Shot by Beth Coleman, number 13.
We are now under the 10-minute mark at 9 minutes remaining in this 5A Girls Championship game. Ridgeland holding on to their 2-0 lead. Raven Ellis will come away with it here. She'll try and possess the ball and then work it up to Britt along the far side. Britt battling with Bridges there. Now Harris and Malden getting into it over there. Now, something we talked about a little bit earlier in the telecast is these aren't friendly rivals by any means, are they?
Oh, absolutely not. You know, I mean, both teams have been on both sides of this game and won both sides of this game. They both had a taste of that victory, and they both had a taste of state championships, and they both had a taste of losing to the team that's on the other side of the field lined up for them right now. Neither wants a part of that ever again. So both are fighting to win, and both are fighting for that state championship.
Limbo will take the corner kick. She plays it high into the center of the field. Knocked across the field, and then out of bounds will remain with the Lady Titans. Tracy Hobbs with the throw in, looking for Harris. Harris Had a little bit of an opportunity there, but loses possession, coming back the other way, but Raven Ellis then retakes it for Ridgeland. Work it up to Britt. Britt has it taken by Bridges. Now Ellis and Harris track it down and work it over to Hobbs. So again, Ridgeland doing a good job right now of keeping the ball in their own half of the field. West Jones having a hard time even getting any opportunities to put shots on goal. Quarles, now it's back to Grice, upfield. Beth Coleman taps it into the box. Hegwood will come out and make the save pretty easily.
Take your time and enjoy it. Yeah, that's where James is seeing that.
Britt works over there. Now Limbo with the tap back. West Jones will get a throw in coming up here as we're almost to the 5-minute mark of this 5A title game.
Parker doesn't have how about now?
Once again, it knocked into the stands
Do you have IP?
by Travis, and
No, he does not have IP.
Ridgeland
Cannot hear you.
not rushing to get the ball back into play. Is there any strategy right now? You've kind of been in desperation mode for a little while, but now it's you got to put everybody on the offensive end, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. You want to throw numbers forward. I mean, you still obviously want to keep, right now it looks like they have one defender back at midfield, but you definitely want to throw numbers forward. You have nothing to lose at this point. You have to get a goal. You're under 5 minutes. You've got to, in reality, you got to get 2 goals to keep yourself into this game. So, you want to throw numbers forward, and you want to get as many strikes on goal and as many people up there to take shots as you can.
That one cleared by Harris. So again, more time ticking off the clock here
No, he cannot hear
as
you.
Grice hurries to chase it down and get it back in the field of play.
Number 14, Sarah Coleman.
Now we have another stoppage with an injury for Ridgeland and Tracy Hobbs. Looks like she is down and will be attended to.
She could have said truck. Huh? This is just my luck.
Mississippi High School Activity Association thanks the silver and bronze sponsors, Park Bureau Insurance, Coca-Cola, Max Prep, Williams Sporting Goods.
Obviously, West Jones won this meeting last year, and there's different players in this game. Like yourself is not in this game, but how much have these teams changed from last year to this year?
I think the dynamic of the teams have changed a lot, actually. I know Ridgeland last year was very strong defensively, but their offensive side of the ball, just from having played and gotten that perspective, and then sitting up here watching, they've gotten an attack, a very well formed attack. Also, West Jones, they've improved in every area. I mean, you see their defensive side of the ball actually settling the ball and getting it out, and I think I would like to see them, better on their attacking side as far as, like I said, West Jones has always been a strong, quick combination, quick play, quick shot team, and you haven't seen that out of them today.
So the ball comes back in play, just over 4 minutes now on the clock. Grice throws it in. It's headed over to Coleman. Coleman will try and turn and maneuver on Ellis. She gets it to the center of the field. Battle for it there as Bunch knocks it free. And back across the midfield stripe again. And now Rachel Harris just more than content to kick it as far downfield as possible. And Berevic going to have to run out, make the save, and get rid of it quickly.
On me.
Save by Abby Berevic.
Malden knocks it over to the center, touched up, and a tough ball there. Whew. Gets by Hegwood, but remains outside of the post.
On me.
And there was a call before that kick, so no damage done.
You definitely see the heart and the love for the game in both of these teams, because they haven't dropped and they haven't slowed down any, both on the West Jones side and the Ridgeland side. They're keeping strong until the end.
So here comes West Jones once again. They try and work it up. Malden, now Coleman. Coleman looking for just a little bit of a window to create, but three Lady Titans around her won't allow it. And again, cleared out by Ellis.
That's like we talked about earlier. Sarah Coleman can be such a threat. You have to send numbers, especially when she gets into that range she loves to shoot from.
And before she can operate there, the offsides flag goes up. So we are now at that 2-minute mark. Time really winding down as Ridgeland is close to capturing the state title. Haley Britt now with a chance as she battles Bridges for the ball. Stoppage in play. The foul called on Britt. So West Jones will have a kick here, again, under 2 minutes remaining. 2 first-half goals by Mary Ashton Limbo has the Lady Titans on top and primed to exact a little bit of revenge on the Lady Mustangs, who beat them in the state title game right here last year 3-2. Got another stoppage as the card comes out. And it's a little heated over there on the sideline. Coach Winship still very much into this game, even though his team is primed for the victory. Here we go, the final moments of this game. West Jones playing the ball up, trying to get something on the scoreboard. They put it out to Sarah Coleman. But Raven Ellis again there to knock it away. And Bunch taps it out to Limbo. Limbo will get it up, looking for Harris. And then now cleared ahead once again. Ball all the way on the other side of the field as Berevic recovers. Sarah Coleman touches it forward. Travis tries to chase it down in the box. Chance here, the turn, the shot, and a good look at it, but just a little high. And that will do it. The whistle blows. The game is over, and the Ridgeland Lady Titans are your Class 5A girls state soccer champs. They take down West Jones this afternoon by a final score of 2-0. Another great chapter in this storied rivalry between the Lady Titans and the Lady Mustangs. And you can see how bad this one hurts on the losing end of things, but how much the celebration is for Ridgeland to pull out the victory. All right, when we return, we will wrap up this 5A state championship game and crown the Lady Titans champs here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSAA.TV/SBP.
The Ridgeland Lady Titans are once again the best in Class 5A women's soccer. They take down West Jones this afternoon by a final score of 2-0. Once again, I'm Travis Raycheck, joined by Macy Wallace. And Macy, we saw two first-half goals, similar type of goals. Tell me how you saw this game playing out and what stood out.
Honestly, those two goals were a great momentum, starter for Ridgeland coming into the game. I credit Mary Ashton with those two quick shots. Like I said, I love the fact that she even took those shots, because those are the type games and this is the type turf that your coaches tell you, take the shots, and she did, and she got rewarded for it, and in the end, she led her team to victory here.
So these two programs with long-standing history, the fourth time they've met in the title game in the last 5 years. Last year, it went to the Lady Mustangs. Today, it goes back to the Lady Titans, their 8th championship in only 10 years of existence. And you see the happiness over there as Coach Winship and his girls capturing the title. Meanwhile, for West Jones, an impressive season. Coach Gigger and the Lady Mustangs should be very proud of their effort all season. And Macy, you as a Lady Mustang, it's got to be a little tough to watch, but they put an impressive effort out there today.
Oh, absolutely they did, and I'm definitely a proud alumni, and I'll say it until the day that I die. I'm West Jones, and I'm a part of the Mustang family forever, and it is disappointing to watch them lose, but when they lose to a team that, was as well prepared and as well coached as that Ridgeland Lady Titans team was, you can't take that away from them.
And these are by far probably the two best programs when it comes to soccer in the 5A ranks, and Ridgeland is back on top. Coach Craig Winship leading them to the 2012 5A state championship. They are getting their medals over there, capping off an amazing season. All right, coming up next here, we have 5A boys soccer. Starkville matched up with Pascagoula, and then two more games after that, so plenty of championship soccer still left here at Arrow Field on this Saturday afternoon. The weather has cleared for us, and we have good competition still left to come as Ridgeland finishes their celebration as we wrap up our broadcast here. For Macy Wallace, I am Travis Raycheck. Once again, the Ridgeland Lady Titans, your 5A girls state champions. They win 2-0 here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.